The Chargers are 1-4, but they keep on blowing games, but they're competitive every game. And Philip Rivers is playing better than ever in a lot of ways. And now they get the Denver Broncos. This game in San Diego, the Broncos coming off their first loss, Chris Wessling, a loss in which the Atlanta Falcons, dare I say, humbled them and rookie starter Paxton Lynch. But we might see Trevor Siemian back under center in what should be a very entertaining game on NFL Network.
I think we learned that Paxton Lynch is a far cry from Trevor Siemian, and we've been underappreciating Trevor Siemian all along. He's been one of, statistically, one of the most effective starting quarterbacks in the NFL this year. It is a boon to have him back in the lineup if he plays.
I think you look at what happened against the Falcons, and we didn't think much of the Falcons' defense going into that game, but they kind of stripped the Broncos of their identity on offense. They couldn't run the ball, and suddenly you had Lynch throwing dangerous passes. If they get Donald Stevenson back at right tackle, that will help because, as we talked about during that game, the right tackle, Ty Sombrello, and then they put someone else in there. Just a revolving door where it allowed Vic Beasley and others to come in and wreak absolute havoc on the quarterback position.
Well, this has been the Bizarro Broncos for 3 weeks running. They haven't really run the ball well since the first 2 weeks of the season, and they can't stop the run. I don't know if San Diego is really equipped to run it that well. I think Melvin Gordon's been okay this year, but their strength is going to be in the passing game. But they can get after Trevor Siemian. You got Joey Bosa now. You got Melvin Ingram playing very well. Suddenly you have two pretty legitimate pass rushers.
How about when you look at San Diego as well, with all these terrible losses, the most recent one on a botched field goal snap on a kick that should have sent the game into overtime. Is there a point where the back can break of this team, the will can be broken, and you expect them just to start to go into a free fall? Or are we going to see another competitive game because that's what they've done all year?
They're paid to not have their backs broken no matter what happened the week before, but that does happen to teams. And I think that there's already been stories and whispers out there that is it getting to them mentally? I don't know about quite yet, but they absolutely can't lose another game.
Hasn't gotten to Josh Lambo chuckling his way off the field after the latest loss.
I don't like this matchup too much for the Chargers. The Falcons won by isolating their running backs on Denver's linebackers in coverage. Chargers don't have Danny Woodhead available to do that, and that's not Melvin Gordon's skill set.
Been okay in the receiving game, but you're right.
Well, the way to beat the Chargers is to give the ball to Melvin Gordon and have him put it on the ground because he's done that in 2 straight games.
Yeah, and to your point, they use 3 wide receiver sets heavily. They don't have the backfield that Atlanta did. They can't do that in this matchup, so it's a totally different offense.